The Box of Delights is one of those programmes which the BBC made for children that ran up to Christmas. It's set in the 1940s and it's about a boy who comes home from school and then obviously, like all those things, comes back for Christmas and gets involved in an adventure. And an old man sees him on the train and basically he's a magic man and he's got a box of delights that he gives to him, the boy, to protect because there's bad people after him and the box.
And I may bring more than my show. In my box are such delights as you...
Inside the box, you can go back in time, you can go small, big, or whatever, and there's a bad man called Abner, who's the evil man, he's kind of like a Nazi, even though he isn't, played by Robert Stevens. He's after the box and the boy.
Where is the box now? For there was no sign of it when we captured him at Arthur's camp this morning.
Because he's a true thespian and very theatrical, he puts so much into the performance that he is frightening because you really believe that he's real. He doesn't camp it up and make it funny. He's just really scary.
I will get that box from him, Rat, for it will give me power.
My favourite character in the Box of Delights is Cole Hawley, who's the old Punch and Judy man, played by Patrick Troughton. You know, these days in this world of everyone, you see an old man and he's talking to a little boy, you think the wrong thing. There's something about him and how warm he is and lovely. It makes you just want to cuddle him. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's something with me.
I look to you. Will you keep it and see that they never get it?
The visual effects in the Box of Delights, I mean, compared to today's standards, obviously, aren't very good. But, you know, what still does look good are the shrinking scenes. There's scenes where the baddies are coming and they've got a toy boat on the river and he uses the Box of Delights and they shrink and they get on the toy boat and they float down the stream. The animation is what is the best part of it. There's a scene where Kay Harker goes into the box and goes into a wood and meets this hunter and he starts off running like a deer. What everyone will remember is the title sequence where you see all the characters' faces. There's a wolf's head, and then you see the Abner's face, and then you see like a rat thing, and it's quite creepy. The best bit is when Cole Hawley goes into the picture and disappears on a donkey. That's nice. I suppose you could say he's a little bit like Jesus, but Jesus wasn't was he on a donkey? No, it was just Mary and Joseph were on the donkey. Jesus wasn't born then, no, he wasn't born. I really honestly think that there's nothing on television like this anymore. I mean, I don't see it. You know, those were the days when it did snow at Christmas and it was really cold. I sound like an old man, but they were the best years of my life, and even thinking about it makes me sad, to be honest.
By the time Christmas evening trundles round, chances are you've completely run out of things to say to each other, or you've got so drunk you couldn't think your way out of a wet paper bag. With all this heating and all these bodies, the room soon becomes so oppressively warm, any kind of motion whatsoever is completely unthinkable. You're trapped here together. This is just what it would be like sharing a shelter together after a nuclear holocaust, except at least then half the c***s would be lying dead outside in a bin liner with their national insurance number Tipp-Ex'd up the side, not taking up too much room on the sofa and silently blowing off every 5 minutes. F*** me, have you been eating burnt grass or something? Smells like someone's opened a tomb. What have you got in there? Dog's bowels? Jesus Christ!
At this point, telly comes into its own as a kind of magic escape portal, a set of shimmering blinkers that make everything else disappear. Here's where the channels wheel out their biggest Christmas hits. It's all good-natured, nation-uniting, slap-happy gang show fun. This tradition started back in 1958 with Christmas Night with the Stars, an annual Yuletide goodie bag which mixed cheerful musical numbers with special 5 to 10 minute fun-sized festive editions of popular comedies. Everything from the cosy "God, don't they look young there" sitcom Marriage Lines.
I've always wanted to buy you something to wear, but I've never been sure of your size before.
To the glam rock surrealism of the goodies.
Although, let's face it, in this state you'd watch absolutely anything. What's that? A load of snowy horse-drawn bullshit? Yes, please.
Since almost everyone in the country winds up slumped in front of the box on Christmas evening, most of the big specials have become engraved on the national conscience, by which I mean we remember them. Many deserve to be remembered. They were crafted with love, a real sense of, hey, let's muck in and entertain the nation. Good
old-fashioned crowd-pleasing. That's what should be on at Christmas, and by and large, that's what is. Mind you, the definition of crowd-pleasing has changed somewhat throughout the years. For years, this cheerful, quipping magician was one of the nation's biggest draws, whereas today it's de rigueur to sneer at him, and I don't really understand why. I mean, he was my childhood hero. That man entertained millions of people at Christmas. What have you done that's so bloody superior to that? And his theme song had the best lyrics ever.
You're gonna see a whole lot of magic. Look at this trick and that trick. And when he says it's not a lot, you'll agree it's such a lot. Meet the man who excels, old and young.
Mind you, a lot of things are a bit less popular than they used to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Black and White Minstrel Show!
Once upon a time, the Black and White Minstrel Show was considered acceptable Christmas Day fare. Today, it's downright mind-boggling, not to mention offensive on about 17 billion different levels at once, especially if you stop gasping long enough to actually listen to the lyrics.
We want a snake for Christmas, yeah, yeah, all slippery and slimy and red. We want a snake for Christmas and make a nice home in our sister's bed.
Of course, we all love a bit of music at Christmas. That's why everyone on the box insists on pointlessly bursting into song at the first sign of tinsel.
Santa Claus is money, and a Christmas wrapping is the game.
Here we see John Leslie gamely zhuzhing up a festive Blue Peter like the musical natural no one wants him to be.
Christmas wrapping.
Good job there's two P's in rapping.
Christmas wrapping.
You could be forgiven for thinking that come Christmas time any old show will just chuck in a musical number for the sake of it. Apart from this show, obviously. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn bloody king. Yeah! Peace on earth and mercy mild. God and sinner reconciled. Well, you know what? Ours might be a cynical, detached, cold, even unfeeling sort of a programme, but nevertheless, we're no exception to the festive singing and dancing rule, which is why right now, to see us out, we've got the Actionettes with some lovely dancing, while I go over there and build a snowman or look at a robin or something. Merry Christmas, and I genuinely mean that.
Merry Christmas, pretty baby. You sure did treat me nice. Merry Christmas, pretty baby. You sure did treat me nice.
Prepare for a scare tomorrow night on BBC4. Ghost Stories for Christmas from 10.